go. Okay, so video's on. Y'all, this way, when you guys have something, you can go back to it. Before we do this, let me start with this, because I had to do a little digging. And I said, had an interview, and they said, how are you going to take your faith and really tie it into math? And I didn't know. I really didn't. And God called me and said, hey, you need to start reread the Bible. Start from the beginning. Because there's something that you need there. So I did. So this is verses 1 and 2. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty, and darkness covered the deep waters. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters. Dark and empty. Created something from nothing. Created order from chaos. Math is a part of everything that has been created since. You cannot look at anything people have I forget the mathematical terminology, but it's called the golden ratio. Everything is mathematically sound. Math is the law of God. It is part of it. You see a building, it had to get built somehow. Even in the ancient times, math was the driving force. God created math for us to have beautiful order. Math is beautiful. I'm going to try to show you the beauty that God created every day that we do math. If you struggle, that's all right. We're never going to grow in our comfort zone. We will grow when we step out of that comfort zone and really start to stress ourselves. Okay? Okay. So, let's talk about this. So, this is the game 24. The goal is to end up with the number 24 and only the number 24, using basic arithmetic. So this was our example. We had the numbers 6, 6, 8, and 4. I used 6 and 6 first. 6 divided by 6 is 1. Right? That's really the multiplicative inverse, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. 4 minus 1 is 3. Where did you get 1 from, Mr. H? Well, 6 divided by 6 is 1. I used those two. 4 minus 1 is 3. 8 multiplied by that 3 is 24. Okay? Did anybody come up with something for this first one? And you can say, Mr. H, oh, man, I'm lost. Okay. What was one of the first things you ever learned in math? You learned how to count. But what was the first mathematical operation? Did you learn to multiply first, divide first? You learned to add. Let's add. What's that? What's 5 plus 5? 10. Okay, so what you've told me is 5 plus 5, the sum is 10. Okay, what else?
7 plus 7 is 14.
So now I've used all of them. 7 plus 7 is 14, but now I have a 14 and a 10.
You added them together.
Oh, you're telling me these get added and that equals 24?
Yeah.
Huh. That's it. Okay, basic arithmetic. You have calculators, but I like to do, they're not brain teasers, but they're going to help us get jump started into our math. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody watched the video, which is awesome. Did everybody take notes? Yes? Hot dog, hot diggity dog. I love it. Makes my job that much easier. Does everybody have this? May I erase? Yes? No? Maybe so. Okay. Well, then I feel silly because I spent this morning stressing because I had parents saying, hey, Mr. H, we weren't able to watch the videos. And I woke up at midnight to emails. And I was responding to emails at midnight. My stress went high because I felt so bad. So I came in this morning and I'm like, okay, if they couldn't watch their videos, well, what could I do to help them? Well, let me show you what I did to help you. So if you have notes, get your notes out. This is a little different than what your notes are. It's a little different from what your notes are. But you should be able to fill in the blanks and teach me. So, this is to solve, let's go in this class, 98% of equations. Step 1, what is it? Somebody tell me.
Distributive.
No, what does my paper say?
Oh, find the balance.
Okay. That's going to be more and more important as we get harder with equations. We are finding the balance point. Okay, step 2 has a blank. Okay, you took my red marker. Wait, I have a box. Okay, guys, help me. There, ha ha ha. Oh. Woohoo! Found it. Okay, step 2. What is it?
Distributive.
And that's the key. Distribute, which is what mathematical operation? What do we do when we distribute? What are we actually doing? Are we adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? Multiplying. Okay, so distribute means multiply if needed. Now, we only distribute if there is a number smack dab up against the parenthesis. So, most of the time, we're not going to have to distribute. Okay, I've heard Ava. Let's get somebody else. What's step 3? You guys have it. Give me step 3. What do we think?
Combine like terms on the opposite sides.
Not on the opposite sides. Combine like terms.
Same sides.
Good. On the same side, if needed. Now, let's talk about this. When they're on the same side, you do exactly what it says. You do the same thing. Okay? Same thing. Step 4. What's step 4?
Combine variables on the opposite side using addition and subtraction.
Very good. Combine variables. Now, step 4 and 5 can be reversed. This is just how I like to have an order. Again, I like the order from chaos. I like to know what steps I'm doing when. So combine variables on opposite sides. And I'm going to say using addition and subtraction. But underneath that, and you might want to put a note, we're going to put inverse operations. And when we talk about inverse operations, opposite sides, what's another way to say inverse? Opposite sides, inverse. Opposite sides, inverse. What's another way to say inverse? Listen again, ready? Opposite sides, what would be the inverse operations? Oh, the opposite operation. So if it's addition, we're going to subtract. If it's subtraction, we add. It's the opposite. Inverse operations are the same as saying the opposite operation. Everybody with me? Okay. Number 5. Combine what?
Constants.
Good. Combine constants on opposite sides. So we already combined constants on the same sides. That's combining like terms on the same side. Now we're combining constants on opposite sides. Using addition and subtraction. But again, put your little note. We're going to put inverse operations. Because anytime it's on the opposite side, we use opposite, the inverse operations. Okay? Do you see how this is tying together? Those words are all moving. Am I going too fast for anybody? Okay, everybody's good, everybody's able. Is this helpful to have this little sheet? It's not going to be every day, but if you need it, you got it. Let me get a drink. Can you tell that I've had like 6 cups of coffee? Number 6. What's number 6?
Isolate the variable using multiplication or division.
Good. Isolate the variable using multiplication / division. And again, what do you think I'm going to put in here?
Inverse.
Yeah, because we're moving something to the other side. And then I feel like I would be a bad teacher if I didn't put number 7, which says check. You can substitute your solution back in and check it. Are we going to do that? Well, today we will. But often, no. Now, let's talk about inverse operations. Okay, so you might want to have this on your notes that you took last night. I don't think that I put inverse operations. So you might want to have this, have your piece of paper, take some notes. Let me make sure that I can see this on the camera. Hi, camera. If I put it down here, can we see me? Yeah. Okay. Inverse operations. Remember, we're saying that inverse operations are opposite. So if I start with a positive, what's the opposite?
Negative.
Yeah. So if it's addition, we subtract. We subtract, we add. Okay, now, how many of you still feel comfortable putting the x for multiplication? Don't.
No.
Yeah,
Sorry.
don't. Why?
Because there's a lot of x's in algebra.
Because they're what?
Variables.
They're variables. Variables is a something that takes the place of an unknown. Okay? So a lot of people say, oh, a variable takes the place of a number. Sometimes. A variable takes the place of an unknown value. Okay? So I don't put that x anymore. We put the dot. What's the opposite of multiplication?
Division.
Division. And last but not least, the opposite of division is multiplication. Those are our inverse operations. What questions do we have so far? Okay, you have all of this. Make sure you have it copied down. I'm going to erase this in about 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Everybody's good? Yeah. Come on. So this is really cool that I can just write on the board, but it is not as easy to erase as like a normal whiteboard or anything else. It's kind of a pain in the butt. How was the first day, y'all?
Great.
Yeah, I mean, this was the highlight of your day, though, right? Like, coming to see me, like, you're like, wow, Mr. H, it's math. I'm so excited. It wasn't the low part of anybody's day, was it? William? Why are you looking at Lydia like, Does she know something I don't know? Was this William's worst part of his day?
I don't know.
Wow.
Ouch. Okay, y'all.
The most part of my day was the computer not working in the church.
Oh, that's not good. The worst part of my day was waking up and seeing those emails and feeling horrible for those students. Okay, so we're going to start off easy. You're going to be like, Mr. H, we know how to do these. Prove it. We're going to start off with one-step equations. And you might be like, Mr. H, we're in Algebra 2. We've passed Algebra, we've passed Geometry. Yes, you have. You also had a long summer, and I don't know y'all. I need to make sure that you can do the right things. Fair enough? So, let's go. X plus 7 equals negative 13. Use the rules. Work together. I will give you 30 seconds. Y'all need to have the same answer. Use your calculators if you need to, but make sure you show your work. Okay, that is a non-negotiable. You will always show your work.
Yeah.
10, 9, 8, 7. Are we good? Lydia, what did y'all agree on was the answer?
X equals -20.
What was it?
-20. X equals -20.
X equals -20. Okay, so let's go through the rules real quick. Find my balance point. Balance point's always going to be that equal sign. Remember, equations a seesaw. Okay, they don't have those on playgrounds anymore. They're like catapults. When I was growing up, listen, I love the seesaw because you jump off and bam, and their friends would go, ah. Okay, you don't care? William, you and I, man. Oh my God. Okay, so variable, constant. Constants are the numbers that are not attached to the variable. +7, the inverse, because we need to move it away from the variable, is subtract 7. Ooh, here we go. Now, what is the property where we have a number and its opposite equaling 0? 7, this is really 7 minus 7, but I could easily put 7 plus a -7. So we're adding opposites. What is that property? The additive, you should know this, I've said the word a bunch. It's written in your notes. It's the thing in parentheses. That's the additive inverse property. The additive inverse property is when I add two opposite numbers, it gives me
Positive.
0. Why is this important? How many of you have ever heard, well, it cancels? That's not mathematical. It doesn't cancel. 7 plus a -7 is 0. What's x plus 0? X. So do I need to write that plus 0?
No.
That's what happens to it. It doesn't just cancel. It equals 0. So now I have x equals -13 minus 7 is -20. Guys, crushed it. Here we go. (15 plus x equals 3).
What'd you get?
What you guys got next hour?
Life prep.
English.
What's
Who
on
were
it?
you with? What's Anderson? Taking college English, I'm gonna die.
Wait, you're so misty voice.
New
I
teacher.
feel like you could take English or just college English. I could mistakenly just call it too easy. For me.
I did pretty good.
Yeah. 2 years ago, so freshman year, I passed like 106. So they told me to get out. I think it's too easy for you.
Yeah. Some of them are smart.
You're out, right? Yeah.
Mr. Anderson's really nice. He's
She's
just,
so nice. My class is all boys. You're in it. Like we can't.
there's only 2
There's
girls.
2 girls. It's fine. Me and Shalom. I'm like, you have to be kidding. But I think I'm switching out to college English. So.
What do we get?
-12.
-12. So, excellent. I was hoping to trick you on this one. Find a balance point. Every number has a sign. The 15 is what? What kind of number is 15? Positive or negative? Positive. So the inverse of positive is still subtraction. What property is this? Where it equals 0? The additive, because 15 plus a -15 is the same as saying 15 minus 15 is 0. X drops down equals -12. Beautiful. Proud of you guys there. Ooh, gonna be a little trickier.
It's hard for me to not say cancel because I've been learning cancel.
I know.
So it's like,
I know.
gosh.
We're not alone, amigo.
That's what my dad says, and he's like
Wait,
an engineer.
no, I
so-
don't do it.
And it's fine, but I want you to understand why. It equals 0 or it's going to equal 1 in this case. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My turn. Here we go. Find the balance point. This is a coefficient. A coefficient is a number that's attached to the variable. This is saying there are negative 12 x's, which really means negative 12 multiplied to x. So the inverse of multiplication is division. Divide by the negative 12. Why? Well, let me show over here. Negative 12 multiplied by 1 divided by negative 12. Negative 12 times 1 is negative 12. 1 times negative 12 is negative 12. What's a negative divided by a negative? 12 divided by 12 is 1. Oh, wait a minute, Mr. H. So really we're multiplying. This is the multiplicative inverse, which gives me a 1. Why is that important? Because negative 12 divided by negative 12 doesn't cancel. It becomes 1. X. 1x is the same as just that x. Everybody with me? 4 divided by negative 12. Oh man, it's a fraction. It's not negative. So if it was negative 12 divided by 4, it'd be negative 3. But we simplify both by 4. And that gives me negative 1/3. Everybody with me? Did I lose anybody on that one? Okay? Your calculator will do it for you and I'll help you with that. Because I want to teach you how to use your tools. The last one. Let's go. X divided by, let's go negative x divided by 7 equals negative 2. Oh, I like this song. Makes me happy. Okay, so here's my question to you. What is the operation right here? So here's my balance point. What mathematical operations are there? Go ahead. What do you think? X, how would I say this? X what?
Negative x divided by 7.
Divided by. So what's the inverse of division?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. So you've probably seen people do this all your life and just kind of put it up there. Why? Why is this happening? Well, we're taking the denominator and we're multiplying it to this whole thing. What's the denominator of any whole number? Do you know? Very good, Patrick. It's a 1. How many x's are here? 1. Negative 7 times 1 is negative 7x. 1 times negative 7 is negative 7. What's negative 7 divided by negative 7? Positive 1. Oh, wait a minute, Mr. H. These don't just cancel. They become positive 1x. But if I do it to this side, have to do it to the opposite. Negative times negative is positive. X equals 14. Questions? I see a look of confusion. Help me. What can I help you with?
Negative 7 times, oh, that's a negative 0. I thought it was a positive.
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, so I want this to be on video. You have homework, but we're going to work on it now. Okay, if you don't finish, bless you. Whew. Oh, that's enough now. Do you need a Kleenex?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so you are going to do this one-step equation worksheet. We are doing the odds, numbers 1 through 29.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute, Mr. H, that's a lot. It's not. It's really not. Because when you see this, why are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing.
She is, wait a minute.
11.
Okay,
Don't worry.
so if the odds, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You've got about 12 minutes. Show your work. What do I mean by showing your work? This is all you need to do. Okay? Nothing more, nothing less. Work together. Work together. Help each other. So if you get stuck, hey, Mr. H, I need your help. Hey, what can I do? Go for it. Okay? So you're doing the odd. The odds are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Yes? So that left column. Only the left column. Do not do it all. Are there any questions? Is there anybody that's like, Mr. H, I don't know what to do? Get rocking and rolling. Love you, kiddo.